I just was following my life, and it wasn't there in Hollywood.
What does it take for a 3-time Oscar nominee at the peak of her powers to simply vanish from Hollywood? Not retirement, not scandal, not even failure, just gone. In the case of Debra Winger, the answer reveals something darker about the machinery of fame, the price of integrity, and what happens when an actress refuses to play by rules written for someone else's game. This isn't the story you think you know. Everyone remembers Winger as the fiery actress from An Officer and a Gentleman who clashed with Richard Gere. But the real story goes much deeper. It involves a bizarre incident where she allegedly bit Michael Douglas's arm and lost a $100 million role. A romance with a war hero governor that became a statewide referendum. A fraudulent film production that revealed her true character, and a quiet return to Hollywood that proved she'd been right all along. The truth about Debra Winger isn't just about why she left. It's about what Hollywood does to women who refuse to smile when the camera's off, and what one woman did when she realized the price of stardom was her soul. After Terms of Endearment made Winger one of the most sought-after actresses in Hollywood, something strange started happening. The roles kept coming, but so did the incidents. In 1983, while filming Terms of Endearment in Texas, Winger had a dinner meeting with Michael Douglas. They were discussing Romancing the Stone, an adventure romance that would eventually gross over $115 million worldwide. According to Douglas himself, speaking on Rob Lowe's podcast, Literally, in 2022, the dinner ended with Winger allegedly biting his arm, hard enough to break the skin. Douglas told the studio he couldn't work with her. Kathleen Turner got the role instead and won a Golden Globe for it. Turner herself referenced this incident in her 2008 memoir, Send Yourself Roses, confirming the story from her perspective. This wasn't just eccentric behavior. This was a $100 million mistake made at exactly the moment when Winger could least afford to make enemies. But here's what's fascinating. Even as her reputation for being difficult solidified, the public loved her. While filming Terms of Endearment in Lincoln, Nebraska, Winger began dating the state's governor, Bob Kerrey, a divorced Vietnam War Medal of Honor recipient who'd lost part of his leg in combat. Winger stayed at the Nebraska governor's mansion, and instead of scandal, something unexpected happened. A Lincoln newspaper conducted a poll asking voters if it was appropriate for the actress to stay there. 76% said it was fine. When Winger was ticketed for speeding in Kerry's state-leased car with an expired California license, a local columnist raised funds to buy her a used 1976 Chevy Malibu. Winger matched the donation and gave the entire amount to a home for troubled girls. The relationship, which lasted from 1983 to 1985, became a cultural touchstone. Kerrey famously quipped when asked about dating Winger, "What can I say? She swept me off my foot." Think about that. At the exact same time Hollywood was labeling Winger difficult and unpredictable, the voters of Nebraska were polling at 76% approval and buying her cars. The disconnect wasn't about Winger's behavior, it was about which world was judging her. Some have speculated the Kerrey relationship influenced Winger's decision to turn down major roles during this period, including Fatal Attraction and Bull Durham. But the truth seems simpler. Winger didn't feel cut out to be a politician's spouse, and she wasn't willing to compromise her career for a relationship that didn't fit. Even then, she was making choices that prioritized authenticity over convenience. By the early 1990s, the quality of roles being offered to Winger had declined sharply. She earned her third Oscar nomination for Shadowlands in 1993, playing Joy Davidman opposite Anthony Hopkins' C.S. Lewis. She lost to Holly Hunter for The Piano. 3 nominations, 3 losses. She was 38 years old, and Hollywood was already deciding she'd aged out of leading roles. Then came 1995, and a film called Divine Rapture. Filming began on July 10, 1995 in Ballycotton, Ireland, with a cast including Marlon Brando, Johnny Depp, John Hurt, and Winger. It was supposed to be a major production. It lasted 13 days. On July 23rd, production shut down when the financing company Cinefin was revealed to be fraudulent. When Winger's agent went to collect her fee from the production company's Los Angeles office, the address turned out to be a parking lot. The entire operation had been a scam. Only 24 to 25 minutes of footage had been shot. The crew wasn't paid, the Irish villagers who'd provided services and locations weren't paid.
This is where the real Debra Winger emerged. According to multiple sources, Winger was devastated, not for herself, but for the people who'd been defrauded. She attempted to pay Irish villagers from her own pocket, reportedly saying, "You don't do this to people. I couldn't stand the thought that this is what show business does." Think about what that reveals. An actress with a reputation for being difficult, for caring too much about the work, for refusing to compromise, was now literally trying to compensate victims of fraud with her own money. This wasn't about ego. This wasn't about control. This was about decency, about recognizing that Hollywood's failures hurt real people, not just careers. The Divine Rapture disaster deeply affected Winger. Shortly after, while in Ireland with her boyfriend Arliss Howard, she stood on a road and said, "That's it, I'm done." She was 40 years old. She'd earned 3 Oscar nominations, and she walked away. Winger didn't return to film until 2001, appearing in Big Bad Love, written and directed by her husband, Arliss Howard. But her comeback wasn't about reclaiming stardom. It was about choosing work that mattered. In 2005, Winger earned an Emmy nomination for the Lifetime movie Dawn Anna, playing the mother of a Columbine High School shooting victim. Directed by Howard, the film was based on the true story of Dawn Anna Townsend, mother of victim Lauren Townsend. Winger could have chosen glamorous projects for her return. Instead, she chose to honor a mother's grief and resilience. The Emmy nomination proved she could still deliver devastating, critically recognized performances, even in television. But Winger's most surprising move came behind the camera. She became co-executive producer of Gasland, a 2010 documentary directed by Josh Fox about the environmental impact of fracking. The film earns an Academy Award nomination for Best Documentary Feature in 2011. While Hollywood had decided Winger was too difficult to cast, she was putting her resources into films that investigated corporate environmental damage. Her activism wasn't performative, it was actionable. Winger also executive produced Bel Borba Aqui in 2012, a documentary about Brazilian graphic artist Bel Borba. These weren't vanity projects, they were evidence that Winger had found ways to contribute to meaningful filmmaking even when acting roles dried up. Her return to acting remained selective. Rachel getting married in 2008 reminded critics why they'd loved her. The Ranch, a Netflix sitcom starring Ashton Kutcher, Sam Elliott, and Danny Masterson, ran from 2016 to 2020 and introduced her to a new generation. In 2017, The Lovers gave Winger her first romantic lead in 22 years. At 62, she was playing complex, flawed characters again, on her own terms. Debra Winger never won an Oscar. She never became the kind of Hollywood legend who gets Lifetime Achievement Awards. But she did something arguably more difficult. She built a career based on integrity, walked away when the industry failed to challenge her, and returned only when the work was worth doing. The Michael Douglas incident, the Bob Kerrey relationship, the Divine Rapture compassion, each reveals a woman who refused to separate her values from her work, even when it cost her everything Hollywood promises. Debra Winger's legacy isn't about what she lost by being difficult. It's about what she refused to lose by being compliant. In an industry built on compromise, that's revolutionary. If this story changed how you see Hollywood, like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories.
Thanks for watching.